Well, guys, it's unfortunate. I think we're finally seeing kind of like the ultimate slow death. Um, and here's the thing: you ask anyone, and they're going to tell you it's not a slow death, but it is the undeniable, just straight up death of the American Women Quarters series. And we got 2 more years of this, folks. So, in this video, we're going to talk about the quick, rapid decline of a series that everybody was all in on. Last year, 2022 was the first year that the U.S. Mint had released this multi-year series set, and it, um, it came out and released like gangbusters. A lot of people were excited, although a little apprehensive. You had, people over here on this side that said, I don't like the design of the obverse of the coin. George Washington looks like, a cartoon on there. It doesn't look like him. I think people were just used to the old quarter prior to the series. What a lot of people did not know is that original design was one of the first original designs of the Washington Quarter, going all the way back to the early 30s, when a prominent female engraver had put that together conceptually. And because of that, and because of the fact that we're talking about notable women on these quarters, they had to put that on there. All right, that kind of completed the series in a way that really paid homage to some of the most well-known trailblazers that out there, all female, of course. Now we are coming to a close of 2023. This proposed project was going to go all the way to the end of 2025. In total, 20 coins were going to be released, all featuring prominent female historical figures. All right. So just here in the last day or two, we saw the release of, albeit a very quiet one, the Maria Tallchief American Woman Quarter. All right. And yeah, crickets. We heard crickets. And we also, it was not that great of a release prior. Not specifically the Maria Tallchief, but the Hovita Adar, I think is her name, which is a very clean, very basic yet complex design. Eventually sold out through the mint. But this one right here, folks, the Maria Tallchief, flopped on its face. You could currently go online to the U.S. Mint's website, usmint.gov, and order the 3-roll set of the Maria Tallchief quarters. Now that includes a BU roll of P, Philadelphia, Denver Mint, and also San Francisco minted coins, which has a mintage, I think, somewhere around 400,000 pieces. It's very limited. Still available for the original issue price on there, and it's still there. All right. What we did know, and what really kind of exploded this particular series, is that the 3-roll set would always be sold out. We saw that last year in 2022 with the first releases. The moment that Maya Angelou released, the 3-roll set was virtually unavailable. All right, because of the subscription plan that you could enroll in through the Mint. And the 3-roll set, along with a few others, were completely tapped out. All right, which means that $65, $70 set, or however much it costs, would end up costing you 3 to 4x on the secondary market. Most notably, eBay is where we saw a fair amount of these sets available for a ridiculous sum of $150 to $200. All right, it was the kind of like the collector's choice, I suppose. And everybody was really positive toward the series, as any indication of to the sales of the U.S. Mint product. That would not last very long. All right, as soon as the calendar flipped over into 2023, things began to get a little bit rocky. I think people, number one, were a little bit tired of the unavailability of some of the roles, most specifically the PDNS role set. People were certainly tired of paying, at that time, 1.5 to 2x multiplier in accordance to the issue price of the coins on the US Mint website. They didn't even want to pay 1.5 times. And it wasn't the ultimate nail in the coffin, but I think during a multi-year statehood quarter release, subsequently we saw another 10-year America the Beautiful National Park series release, and then now we have this somewhat short series, a 4-year American Women quarter series. I can honestly say that probably not only is there a little bit of wallet fatigue due to the hyperinflation of a lot of these sets. I mean, who in their right mind would want to pay over $80 for a 5-coin 999 fine American Woman quarter set? All right, this is a set that just a few years ago you could have bought for $40 or somewhere around there, maybe a little bit less than that, just for the 5 quarters. And we have seen unprecedented retail prices in a lot of the US Mint product. All right. So that probably played a little bit of a contributing factor to the faltering nature of this series. Okay. But ultimately, I think people are just straight up tired of a multi-year series. Okay. We had the opportunity to talk with a few people on the live coin Q&A. Paula had a few very, very great points about what's going on here. Okay, one of the big things is before the series, does anybody know who Maria Tallchief is? Or Edith Kanaka Ole? Or Wilma Mankiller, right? Or Jovita Adar, all right? I can honestly say that I knew none of these people. Even, Maya Angelou, not a lot of people knew who Maya was. I knew who she was. But I feel like that there was a lot of things that between the Mint and its customers, there was a lot of disconnect when it was moving forward with this project. You could have very easily put other people that folks know about, right? Like, I hate to beat a horse to death, but where in the world is Harriet Tubman in all this, right? I know she was supposed to be proposed on the $10 bill, and then she's going to have her own commemorative and, things like that. But there would be nothing out of place with adding her to this series as being one of those prominent female trailblazers. That might kind of connect a little bit more to the collector base rather than collecting Maria Tallchief that all we know on the existing coin that just released. Okay, and I'm willing to bet that this coin is probably in circulation now. Normally when this releases out from the Mint, it's usually plus or minus 7 days. Okay, I'm sure a number of you have probably already handled some of these coins in circulation. But all we know is that she's dancing in ballet on the coin. But who in the hell is Maria Tallchief? All right, I'm willing to bet that maybe 98% of the total population of people don't know who she is. And I think that because of that, there's a disconnect of what the Mint kind of feels like that they should do. I'm sure that Maria Tallchief certainly deserves accolades, but does she need to be on her own circulating $0.25? Probably not, right? It's the same way like Mr. Beast on YouTube. Does he deserve to be on the dollar bill? Some would say yeah, because, there's a lot of people that are really, kind of like loving on him and all that stuff, all right? Whatever, but there's no correlation between the historical nature of a person to connecting to a monetary instrument. I think you could put Martha Washington on a quarter and I would be okay with that. Or you know, I know they did the President's Wives series of those coins that the U.S. Mint had produced a number of years back. I think they're all gold, right? They're all gold issues. The First Spouse series, you know, I was like, that could have been something great that they probably could have implemented into a coin series, because you're going to feature all these dead presidents. Why not do the dead presidents' dead wives, you know, on the quarters? Because it would just seem a lot more logical. All right. Um, so yeah, I mean, you know, we have 2 more years of this, and then we have what I feel like is a much needed break in all of this, in that was a 250-year anniversary that's coming up here in 3 years. So 2026 cannot come soon enough. So that's 50 years forward from the bicentennial 1976 quarters. All right. So it's I believe it's 250 years, whatever that comes in. It's some elaborate long word. And sorry if I feel stupid. It's just, there's so many different milestones and anniversaries, and my brain is fried right now from all this. But what do we do from here on out? Because right now, again, you can go onto the US Mint website, and the Tall Chief quarters are still available. Okay, and I have a feeling that they're just going to sit there. All right, the interest is very minimal, if not completely missing from this. And, you know, people are going to try and hawk these on the secondary market for, 1.5 to 2x what they, deserve, because they don't deserve that kind of money anymore. It's not going to get better from here on out. 2024, there's going to be a couple more doozies that you guys are going to figure out, who in the world is this person? And it's just going to be another circulating coinage. All right. But the only kind of shining light in all of this has been some of the errors and varieties that have come out of this series. You know, the Wilma Mankiller crazy retain cut die break is still going to be very, very sharp in our brains as a coin that should be hunted for, along with the amazing clash that you can find on the Kanaka Ole quarters, which have been the hottest, one of two of the hottest things in 2023. Not because of the subject figure, but because of how crazy the clash is on the quarter. But is this something that I would say, hey, go to the banks and find as many of these rolls as you can? Not necessarily. If and only if you want to go through them to try and find some major US Mint error, which could be the case. We just haven't seen anything since the Edith Kanaka Ole quarter, and that one was released way back in like March, April. All right, we had Eleanor Roosevelt, which is a perfectly fine subject for this coin. Hovita Idar, all right, which, at first glance, I thought there was something pretty interesting there with the her blouse with all of the keywords on there and her name and all that. Turned out that wasn't more than a contact mark. And then, Maria Tall Chief just released. So it remains to be seen if we're going to find anything from this particular release. But as of right now, I'm going to say that finally there's one coin. As robust as this market is, this is the one coin that has there are multiple cracks in this armor. Not everything is supposed to go up in value. So I'm going to tell you this right now. Again, not financial advice. People are not investing in these as heavily as they were. There might still be an outside shot at the PD and S. Mostly the S Mint rolls are going to carry a fair amount of the value, but you got to consider that, there's going to be 10 other releases over the next 2 years where it's going to feature, that same San Francisco minted business strike quarter. And it's going to be quite a bit. All right. So, that's really what I wanted to talk about in this video, is to kind of highlight a few of the things that that have been talked about the series, about what's happening now in the market, which is very quiet. It's extremely quiet for any sort of full sealed roll. Singular coins are dead quiet right now. And we're in the part of the season of the year, this last quarter of the year, where customarily we see strong interest in circulating coinage. This one has fallen flat on its face like you would not believe. And it's going to be ultimately up to you if you guys want to collect it. Me personally, I'm out. I've been buying the 3-roll sets ever since Sally Ride. I missed out on the first one. And yeah, it's kind of a tough, bitter pill to swallow. The series had a lot more going for it, but it's moving in the direction of the presidential dollar series, the innovation dollars, which unfortunately, as great as it looks on paper, and design wise, it is a dud. There is honestly not one coin that is released from a U.S. Mint facility that is actually interesting right this moment. From Lincoln cents to nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars. They're probably going to go and circulate them again like they did the last 2-3 years. Yeah. Everything is just straight up plain Jane right now. Lincoln cents, again, probably the only other shining beacon of light because of the whole extra V debacle and secondary market sales of single rolls of 2023 are a little nuts right now. $5 to $10 per roll is a little bit crazy. So there's very few highlights from this year. But you guys just have fun with the hobby. Sometimes it doesn't matter what I say. If you like the American Women Quarter Series and these distinguished figures on the quarters, that's awesome. But there's a lot of us that don't know who they are. All right. And I think that was ultimately one of the faults of the program that ended up showing and rearing its ugly head as the series grew older. We are at officially the halfway point of the series. Thank goodness. But yeah, that's crazy. So in closing, a few of the coins that you guys should be on the lookout for are full seal 2023s, Lincoln cents, and Edith Kanaka Ole P-Mint quarters. Those are really the two worthwhile things. You're still going to be paying quite a hefty premium for both because of what you can find on there. But ultimately, everything else is it's dead money right now. All right, you'll be lucky to get face value for a lot of those other coins. Jefferson nickels and dimes are very flat right now, and that's it. It sucks. I hate delivering this kind of news. Again, it's not all roses, sunshine, and rainbows in the coin market. We also have to talk about the areas where there's weakness, and this is a pretty glaring one. I normally wouldn't say that if the 3-roll set for the Maria Tall Chief had sold out, but this cannot be ignored. It cannot. But if you guys are looking for it now, it's available. It's still available. Go ahead and order however many you want. I think there's no proposed limit. There's a product limit of about 12,400 and some odd pieces or sets. And it's the only way that you could obtain the S-Mint quarters. So there you go. That's what I wanted to talk about. Oh, by the way, I'll be on a few times this week on Whatnot Coin Auction streams. Tonight we have part 4 of the unsearched wheat cent roll kind of lots. All right, these are wheat cents that I had obtained privately, and people have been finding some bangers. There's a few guys that have. One person, Jason, had found a 1955 double to die obverse, not the big one, not the FS101, but the 102, which is pretty huge. That coin in VF condition is probably $50, $60, $70, somewhere around there. And there's been a lot of min errors, a lot of strike throughs, laminations, things like that. Another person had found a bunch of repunch mint marks and various other cool things in there. Nice low date, you know, kind of like teens, 20s, and 30s coins as well coming out of the mix. So we have that this evening, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern. I'll have my referral link down below if you're going to join up for the first time. We'll also be multicasting live onto YouTube as well when I go live on Whatnot. So that way you guys can get the experience there as well. But yeah, I have that, and then the normal Friday show. We're coming up toward the end of the month here, so we have our kind of like end of October. Let's kick off the holiday type world and U.S. type coin signature sale this Friday, the 27th. Again, same time as tonight's show. So I hope to see you guys at one of them. You know, and, you know, have fun with the hobby. Personally, go ahead and collect more classic stuff because that's where a lot of money is being pumped into right now. And I've kind of jumped on that bandwagon here lately. And it's been fun. So you guys will find your niche. You guys will find your fun in this hobby. And that's it. So thank you guys for tuning in. It was all... I wish I could say it was fun to talk about the subject. Again, it brings me no joy to talk about a deficit in the marketplace, and this is the first one in quite a while. So that's it. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Make sure you hit that like button, okay? And then feel free to share the video, and don't forget to sub also if you haven't done so already. But I am out of here. I have a lot of other things I need to do. Love you guys. Take care. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next coin video. Take care.